Hi everybody, Stephen Levine from NASCAR Illustrated here on the NASCAR Race Hub set at Fox Sports 1 with three women whose faces you know but whose stories you may not, and we're going to see what we can do about that. Kaitlyn Vincie, Danielle, Trotta, and Jamie Little. Thanks guys.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome to our home.
Yeah.
We appreciate your hospitality. I want to talk about your backgrounds because there are some similarities and there's some departures, some differences.
And it's funny, I found my career through my passion and love for motorcycle racing. Supercross is where I started, of course, so I was out in the dirt and I just loved the smell. There really were no women speaking on behalf of the female fans. It was a lot of models in the magazines that I was reading. Dirt Rider magazine, you just didn't see women with a voice.
Is that something that you're all conscious of, being a voice for the female fan or a conduit specifically for the female fan?
In a world amongst men and certainly an industry amongst men, I don't necessarily think I cater my message specifically towards a female audience.
Let's move Joey over. He deserves it. Winning on
I think my job is to inform and entertain whoever is out there watching. I don't like it when people think, you know, we're just here because we're a pretty face. Or we're a girl that can put the dress on it and that's our only value. I think that's really degrading. Our job is to be just as informed and prepared as our male counterparts.
In reading your backgrounds, all three have been competitive athletes. Like a competitive perspective, you've been an athlete. How do you think that informs your interviewing style?
I always had the interest at a very young age. I was at the racetrack and that was my thing. And I think that's what helps me the most, was that experience talking to those modified drivers, super late trucks, that kind of thing.
Place for him. His third place
helps me more now with my interviewing and questions with the Cup guys or Xfinity guys.
I was competitive my whole life. I love to compete. So I understand putting yourself, you know, in moments where either you overcame a fear and you accomplished a goal. Sometimes you fall short. The agony of defeat. I feel like empathy is something that comes very naturally to a woman.
We all get this question, so I'm going to ask each of you because I get it from skeptics. What's the deal with NASCAR? They're just turning left. What do you see? Why?
I try not to explain it because I feel like it's a losing battle. What's really important for me is to show them. I try to bring people to the racetrack because I think it's an incredibly difficult sport to fall in love with through television. And that's weird because we are a television network. And I think that we've taken incredible steps as a broadcast to tie the viewer, make them more connected to our sport and feel like they understand every facet from pit road to the booth.
There's so much more to it, and what they overcome in 3 hours, 4 hours in a race car is, it's fascinating. And you have to see it inside to really get that, because obviously if you're sitting there watching in a bar and it's on mute and you're seeing cars go round and round, it's not exciting until somebody wrecks. But if you listen and you know what they're going through and what you have to watch for, it's something that it has to grow on you, because the more you learn, the more you want to know.
I have an 8-year-old daughter and she doesn't know anything about NASCAR, doesn't care to watch sports on TV. But every week she asks me, is the girl racing this weekend?
I think Danica takes that relationship seriously and being a role model, and I've seen her sign, as we all have, hundreds of autographs for every little girl and boy that's standing in line to wait. I certainly think that we have a responsibility, I think the sanctioning body does, to really engage people from a young age, get them to the racetrack and get them involved. We have a greater chance of extending the health of the sport the earlier we get people involved.
Well, thank you guys for taking the time. This has been fun.
No,
I
thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.